Hey everyone, welcome back to the THC Launchpad. My name is Doc, and in this episode we are looking at what are the most essential marketing assets for your brand. The last few episodes we've been looking at the brand itself, why branding is so important, how to start to develop your brand, and today we're assuming you've already done that. You've already gone through the process of designing your logo, designing your brand style guide, and now you're starting to think about, okay, how do I start to build out my marketing? And so as we go through this, I'm going to start pointing out some examples of where you would want to invest your money. Every company is going to be different. It depends on where you're at in the industry, and whether you're a grower, whether you're a dispensary, whether you're a brand, whether you're an auxiliary cannabis business, wherever you're at, the answers to these questions of what is most essential to you and where you should start spending your money is going to be different. And so let's start with the website. For many businesses, your website is one of the most important things that you're going to build, whereas for others, it may not be so important. If you are a farm, if you're an indoor cultivator, if you're primarily selling flower, if you're primarily, a B2B company in that you're selling to the dispensary and you're less focused on the consumer, then your website, maybe you don't need a website at all. And if you do need a website, it's probably a pretty basic website that say, this is who we are, this is what we stand for, this is the kind of values that we have, and this is how we go about growing our cannabis. But it doesn't need to be super extensive, and so it can be quite simple, but it needs to look good. If you're going to go through the trouble of building that website, make sure it looks good, even if it's just a landing page. It's like, here's how to get a hold of us. And then it's not going to need much down the road. Whereas if you are a dispensary and you do online orders or you're selling through your store, if you are a brand that is, more focused on, creating, interactions with your customers, your audience. If you're an auxiliary business that is, primarily being found through SEO, or, people are learning about you, they go to the website to figure out, like, does this make sense for me? If you're for a lot of businesses, your website is going to be anywhere from important to absolutely essential. Now, if you are a e-commerce business, if you're selling CBD online, for example, then your website is the most important thing that you're going to have, right? The website and the SEO that's associated with it, that is your biggest asset. And so then, the website is going to be the first thing I think about. If you're somewhere in the middle, then it's like, oh, website's important, but maybe it's not the first thing I need to do, but I do need to have it, and it needs to be good. I know I'm going to be doing online orders. Most people are going to be coming in store, but I'm going to have a Dutchie page set up, and et cetera, et cetera. So where are you on that spectrum? You're thinking about your website. Is it the most important thing? Is it, I don't even know if I need a website. You figure that out, and you invest the amount of money that's appropriate for that level. But whatever part of the spectrum you're on, if you're going to build a website, make sure it's good, because if it's bad, then the people that find your website are going to think less of you. And so your website is going to be hurting you more than it's helping you. And as we kind of summarize some of the others as we go through this, that's the mindset that we're having is, what's most important for my business? That's where I'm going to start to invest. And if I don't have the money to really invest well in something because it's not as important, then leave it out altogether, because if you build it and they come, as they say in Field of Dreams, there's that third step. If they come and they don't like it, then they're not going to come back. You've lost them. So that's very true of the website. Let's think of another area that could be anywhere from extremely essential, the most essential thing for your business, to it doesn't apply to my business at all, your packaging. If you are a brand that's sitting on shelves in the dispensary and it's not in a jar, someone else's jar, meaning flower, where you don't have your brand on it, but you're selling things in a package, in a box, in a jar, your branded jar, in cartridges, whatever it is, if you have packaging on the shelves in the dispensary, or you're being sold online and they're seeing your packaging before they buy it, then your packaging is the most important thing. Just like if you're an e-commerce business, your website is the most important thing. Your packaging is essential, because it all comes down to, I'm the customer in the store, I'm looking at the shelves, oh, I like the look of that one. Let me try it. Bring it over, let me look at it. It's essential for the customer that's looking at the shelves. It's essential for the bud tender. The bud tenders are going to like and respond to the products that have good packaging. It's easier for them to sell. They're going to like it more themselves because they like looking at it. They like handling it. They like talking about it. Your packaging is your most important thing. That's where you invest your money. If you're cutting corners on the thing that is the most important to your business, then you're never going to be successful, right? You're always going to be, catching up to the brands that have invested in their brand. So I'm going to just run through quickly some of the other things that might be important as you're starting out, where you're going to want to make your initial investments. Photography, I already mentioned it for the product photography, but if you're building a website and you don't have good pictures, then your website's not going to be good. So you're going to need good photography, and it's probably going to be smart, no matter what kind of business you are, that you are like, oh, I'm going to need some photographs of my dispensary, I'm going to need some photographs of my facility, I'm going to need some photographs of my team, I'm going to need some photographs of my products. Whatever kind of business you have, you're going to want some high quality photography. It's a really good investment, because most of the time you make that investment once or twice, and now you have assets that are going to just keep getting reused. They're going to go on my website, they're going to go on my social media, they're going to go into my ads, I'm going to share them with journalists that are going to come and ask me questions. I'm going to share them with third partners that are like, oh, we're doing a pop-up in your store. Do you have any photographs that we can use to promote on our social media? Here you go. And so, some people come to us and they're like, oh, we want to hire you to do photography every month or every few weeks. And then I tell them the cost, and they're like, oh, wait, that's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot to do it over and over again. But to do it that once or twice at the beginning to get those key assets that can be used everywhere, it's a really smart investment. Another investment, marketing collateral. If you are going to have a salesperson going out and going to dispensaries, going to other vendors, whatever it is, you're going to have a salesperson going to make sales, having something that they can hand out, whether it's a brochure, a leaflet, a strain menu, a postcard, even something as simple as business cards, but we want to make those business cards good and memorable. We maybe want to be circle or a triangle instead of just the standard, whatever it is. Like, having those materials that people can hand out is going to be really important. And again, it's like a 1 or 2 time investment. You do it at the beginning and you keep reusing those assets. If you know that you're going to be doing a lot of events, then you're going to want to invest in the banners and whatever the setup is for those events. If you're doing one event, it may not be worth it, because the investment that you have to make to design the booth and the banners and the pop-up banners and all the different things, the swag, all of that, if you don't know that you're going to be doing a lot of events, like doing one to see how it goes may not be the best investment at the beginning. But if you're like, oh, I know our state has a lot of events, it's going to be really important for us to hit those events, then making that investment in the banner, the tabletop cover, the swag that you're going to be handing out. Swag is great when you know that it's something that I can design it once, and then every time I run out, I print it up again. But the design I already have, and I made that design at the beginning. I made sure it was good because I hired a professional to do it. And so if you're going to be doing a lot of events, then you invest in the things you need at every one of those events. If you are a business that's at a specific location, a dispensary, or a auxiliary brand, that a company that is in a specific city or whatever, then SEO is probably going to be very important, and local SEO. And so making that investment in SEO before you even launch is going to be really important, because if people are going to be finding you because a dispensary near me, they're searching for that, or in our example, cannabis marketing near me, cannabis marketing Portland, cannabis marketing New York, whatever it is, if like that location is an important part of what you're doing, then investing in the SEO, and also perhaps investing in a billboard. If you're a dispensary, maybe the most important investment you're going to make once you get your dispensary built and you get the sign and all, is that billboard across the street, or at the junction that's right down the street from where your location is. Like, that billboard is going to be really important. Whereas if you're a brand or you're a farm and someone comes to you and it's like, oh, we have a great deal on a billboard for you, you're going to be able to, well, wait, I'm making a list of my priorities and a billboard is really low down on it, because it's not, how is that going to directly tie into customers? And so for some businesses, that billboard is going to be very important. For other businesses, I would never consider doing a billboard. So whatever it is that's important to your business, take the time to sit down, think it through, plan out, these are the steps I need. I need these things first. I need these things when I can get the money together. When I get to this, then, and if things are going well, maybe we'll invest here. But you make a priority list and you start, like, the things that are going to have the most value to me right now and moving forward. That's where you're going to focus. Now, before I wrap up, there's one thing you'll notice that I didn't mention, and that's social media. Social media is almost certainly going to be non-essential to your cannabis business unless you are a brand that wants to expand beyond just like the dispensaries that I can, convince to take up my products. I want the customers coming in asking for my product, and I know that I'm going to be in it for the long haul, and I want to start building that relationship with my customers. I want to start to be able to go into new states and have people know about us before we even get there. That's when you start to think about social media. If that's in your plans, one, you're going to need to have a big budget, because you're going to be in it for the long haul, and investing in your social media at the beginning may make sense. But if you're not in that situation, social media, I would almost say don't even do it at all. Because again, just like I mentioned at the beginning with your website, if you are putting out something that is subpar, that is like, that's the best that we can do, and I think it's important to do it, but then it's not good, then you're just turning people away. And so social media, for most of you, don't worry about it. For that select group that where it really is going to be important and it's part of your long range plan and your future, then do it, and invest in it and make sure it's good. And that same mindset applies to all the things that we talked about and all the things that we didn't talk about, but that might apply to your business. Thank you again for listening. I hope that this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments, reach out to us through our website. My contact information can be found on the website. Please like and subscribe to this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.